Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be all about the 6 champions Kabam has proposed for the next buff and which are the better champions to vote for in my opinion. I'm going to be presenting my arguments why I feel you should vote for a specific champion, why you shouldn't vote for a specific champion. And first things foremost, huge thank you to Marvel Trucos obviously for making this poster together. They always do a fantastic job. Definitely do check them out. Do follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and wherever else they are active. However, the champions themselves, so we have Abomination, Netflix Daredevil, only Netflix Daredevil, Hulkbuster, Kamal Khan, Iron Man, and Black Panther. So let's just go in order. So first of all, Abomination, I do not think that it is a good pick by any means. I think it's probably the worst pick you can choose kind of thing, simply due to the fact that he is a fairly exclusive champion. He wasn't added and still is not added to the basic hero pool. Only players who have this guy is the ones who actually bought featured Grandmaster Crystals for this guy when he was in Arena recently, and the ones who got him from Dungeon Crystal. And that's about it. So when you go to compare this champion, Abomination, versus other 5 champions who are in basic hero crystal pool, have been in game for absolutely ever, Abomination is owned by a very small percentage of people. That alone makes him, in my opinion, pretty much discounted from the list, kind of like added just as a courtesy. Nobody should ever consider voting for this guy just because a very small percentage of people would actually benefit, if at all, from this buff. Just because he's also a large champion. He's also a champion that already places poisons on you when you strike him, therefore he does require pretty much a specific counter whenever you see him in any of the tougher fights. Therefore he's a champion that can catch you by surprise. Therefore he's not somebody that you want to get buffed, because chances are likely his buff would be largely defensive, and you would be doing yourself a disservice and kind of like basically creating your own problems further down the line. Because Abomination, addition to the fact that he's one of the few champions that you do need specific counters for, just due to the fact that he plays on poisons on you while he's being struck, therefore you definitely need poison immune champion. He's also all over the contest. He's in every act in 4, 3, 5, 6, whatever. He's basically being already added as a defender in many different quests, and having a stronger version of this guy to face, who is already fairly annoying, is definitely not something you want to do. So pretty much forget about Abomination. It's a no-no. Now, Netflix Daredevil, I feel, is a good pick. Netflix Daredevil does have a lot of interesting kind of utilities and abilities, I think, that could be polished and could be made into an actually interesting and enjoyable character. So I do think it is a decently good pick. Many of us have Netflix Daredevils because he's commonly available. He's a skill champion, and yeah, he has decent amount of kind of potential that you could give it to him, because Daredevil is an interesting character. There are those things about bypassing the invisibilities, so they could just add a line in that he can't miss. He also has some, let's say, precision or cruelty potential, just because of the fact how Daredevil fights and is basically made as a character in all the series, so on and so forth. So yeah, I think Daredevil is a solid pick. Definitely nothing up against anybody who will vote against Daredevil. I think it's a solid, decent choice. Now, Hulkbuster, many people's favorite. My opinion, very poorly thought out decision. Do not vote Hulkbuster. Do not think about voting Hulkbuster. I do realize that for a fact he is in a 6-star crystal. I do realize that currently he's worthless in the game. I do realize that many people wish they would have some better use out of their Hulkbusters. However, think it through. He is a defensive champion. He's a tank. When Hulkbuster was introduced in the game, such as he is right now, he was already a problem on defense at a time, and was a champion that forced people to time out on many specific kind of nodes. Right? It's a simple fact. He's an armor powerhouse, stack house. Now, you can be hopeful. You can be daydreaming, hoping, oh, perhaps Kabam is gonna give him some decent offensive utility, and they probably will do some. However, there's going to be, offensive utility. However, there's going to be much more defensive tankiness in there. Everybody has Hulkbuster. Everybody has some rank up gems from variant 3 or whatever, because tech class doesn't have many champions rank, right? So basically, if you pull 2015, 2016 tech gem, unless you still have like Star-Lord to rank or Ultron to rank, you're pretty much in a dire situation because you don't have any good way to use these gems. Now, Hulkbuster should not be one of these champions because he will be a defensive tank, mark my words. It's highly doubtful Kabam would make him a crazy offensive character because he's not. He's meant to be a tank. He's meant to be basically a defender. His level 2 already is one of those that you do not want to attempt to evade, so you want to just keep to level 1, which even like in Alliance Quest, whereas you can see him constantly in Alliance Quest map 7, which is another reason why you don't want him buffed, because you're just going to be making map 7 harder, is the fact that, yeah, he is not going to be what you think he is. He's going to be a champion that is likely to cause you much more problems on defense. He's also a champion you can already see all over the content, in Act 6, in Act 5, in like variants, whatever. He's everywhere. And you don't want to have another Korga thing like whatever defender to be faced in this difficult quest, especially if you haven't done them to date. So do yourself a favor, don't vote Hulkbuster. Horrible choice in my opinion. Yes, there is a ray of sunshine, maybe he's gonna have some offensive utility, and probably he will, some. But he is likely to have much more defensive build. And if they're going to update it, if they're going to put in like armor break immunities, some insane armor buffs, and then do some other stuff with him, it's not something you want to do. You're just going to be, yeah, creating problems for yourself, and you're going to have nobody else to blame but yourself when he gets buffed, when you get stuck on him in the next variant or Act 6, Chapter 3 or something like that. And just imagine how ironic that would be if there's all of these complaint threads, let's say, how they are about Mr. Sinister and 6.22. Oh, that's such a BS fight. Well, potentially you're making doors for another BS fight, you yourself, and then you can't blame Kabam next time. Now, Kamal Khan. Kamal Khan is also a decent choice if you fancy her, because she is like a fairly interesting character. They could give her quite a lot of different things to work with. However, the fact that she's representative of Cosmic class highly kind of demotivates me to vote for her, just because she's one of the older champions in Cosmic class, but Cosmic class already has some great options to rank with your gems. There are many great champions in Cosmic class, which is already one of the stronger kind of classes. A lot of Cosmics, old Cosmics, are definitely good choice for these gems. Like there's Hyperion in 2016, that's a fantastic champion, one of the god tier champions that you can use your gems on, so on and so forth. So basically, I don't think Kamal Khan would be kind of like most practical or wisest vote for community as a whole. However, if it's your personal preference, obviously there's nothing wrong there. She is still likely to be offensive champion, maybe utility champion. She has a poison immunity. Fair enough. If you want to do Kamala, go for Kamala. I don't think that's kind of like the wisest pick community-wise. And then we're moving up to Iron Man. Now, OG Iron Man, in my opinion, is by far the best pick of the lot. By reasons being, he's one of the old characters that everybody has, right? So that's the first thing. So whatever they do to him, it's going to affect everyone. Not like in case of Abomination, where only a small percentage of people have him, so on and so forth. Pretty much everyone has him, right? Also, he's a tech champion that's coming from 2015. There are not many good tech champions in 2015, 2016 to rank up currently. Therefore, he would be a fantastic breakthrough champion if they make him actually kind of like god tier level, something like that. He would fit that slot perfectly because tech class at the moment is one of the weaker ones when it comes to these old rank up gems. Again, if you discount like Ultron or Star-Lord, but those guys are still dated and all that. So Iron Man might potentially become simply the best option for your old tech rank up gems, and I find that fairly alluring. That fact that everybody has Iron Man, the fact that he feels a need for a target of these rank up gems, which is, in my opinion, extremely valuable. Also, the fact that it's Iron Man, right? It's RDJ, it's Tony Stark. He also can be extremely versatile. They can make him a damage dealing character, they can make him offensive character. There's just so many different things they can do with him, like they showed with Iron Man Infinity War. However, we already have like the defensive Iron Man, so they could use this as an opportunity to create an offensive Iron Man. I don't think there is kind of like much base on worrying that he's going to be some sort of defensive pain in the bottom as compared to Hulkbuster. There's definitely much larger chance that Iron Man is going to be an offensive character rather than a defensive one. So that is who my vote is going for. I do think it's the best pick. I do think it makes most sense. I do think it would help out most players in the community just because of how available he is, just because that there are those rank up gems that currently do not have too good of a targets, and the fact that I think they can do a great job with him. Just like Daredevil, there are many different things they can add to him. They can give him all of these plasmas, incinerates, shocks, all of these like new debuffs, some immunities, like, you know, all the good stuff. Basically what Iron Man Infinity War has, just different or more offensive potential kind of thing. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick, 100%. And buff Black Panther. So Black Panther, OG Black Panther. No, it's also a good pick. It's not a bad choice at all. However, skill compared to tech class, I think has a better kind of like roster in 2015, 2016 champions. They're not the greatest ones, but I think they're still better because there's still Hawkeye, there's still Winter Soldier that are decent choice for these rank up gems. Black Widow, if you have her. Crossbones of 2016. So there are some like decent options that people definitely should be looking at. And also the fact that Black Panther, I think inevitably is going to be a bleed reliant champion, and I think we have enough of those. I don't think that's the best way how to like represent utility with all these corner nodes flying about, with so many champions being immune to buffs or debuffs or bleed in specific, so on and so forth. So Black Panther is still a good pick. There's absolutely nothing wrong with picking Black Panther. However, I feel that they would still kind of like keep him one-dimensional, if anything, and the fact that he's a bleed champion, yeah, I just think we have enough of those. I'd rather have somebody who has base of more utility kind of character. So in my opinion, hashtag buff Iron Man. Forget all their hashtags. To sum it up, definitely not Abomination. Hardly anybody has him. Daredevil, yeah, it's a good pick. Why not? Definitely not Hulkbuster. You're going to be doing yourself a disservice. You're going to be creating another defensive tank that's going to likely make your life a lot more troublesome and miserable, potentially in different quests. You do not want to do that. Think it through. Stop being childish or naive. Stop hoping that Kabam is going to make him into this kind of like offensive powerhouse. It's not going to happen. Look at him. He's a big, tanky machine. He's going to have huge health pool, huge armor, likely some abilities to mess with you. Kamala Khan, I think she's arguably the better champion in this lot here currently. So I think she needs the buffs the least. Also, Cosmic class is fairly stacked as is, and you definitely have good choice for your rank up gems. So that would be kind of like in my third from the bottom pick. I think Daredevil, Iron Man, and Black Panther are better picks. So Iron Man, my personal favorite pick. I think that's something they could do the best job with. It's something that also contributes to my personal kind of like favoritism and bias of Marvel, of RDJ, of MCU, and all of that. I would definitely be super happy to see an actually cool, usable, offensive Iron Man, Tony Stark in this game. And lastly, Black Panther, as I just mentioned, not a bad pick, probably third favorite by me, but I think he would just be too kind of one-dimensional in a sense. So yeah, number 1, Iron Man, number 2, Daredevil, number 3, Black Panther, number 4, Kamala Khan, number 5 or 6, whichever ones. Definitely do not vote for Abomination or Hulkbuster, in my opinion. If you have different opinion, that's perfectly fine. It's just an opinion. There is no need to get somehow offended for people having different opinions. And on the same note, do let me know what you are going to vote for. What do you think is the best, wisest, smartest choice, personally, community-wise? personal biasness kind of thing, for your personal account. So there are many things that can motivate you to vote differently. Obviously, if you have a 6-star duped Hulkbuster, you're gonna want to get something out of it. You're gonna want to vote for the Hulkbuster, right? Or if you are one of the people that have Abomination, you will probably say, screw everybody else, I have Abomination, I want to buff him. Or on the same sense, you might be the person who might want to look at the greater good, what affects most of the community, what can affect it positively. Or maybe you're just a new player and you don't have many champions and you're gonna vote for whichever one you actually have. So obviously it's up to you. I said my recommendations, my thoughts on this rank up process, and which is kind of cool. It's kind of unexpected list, I suppose, for me. I definitely didn't see all of these champions coming. There are definitely some champions that I thought I'm going to see again, but I didn't. But hey, so long as I keep up buffing these guys, my only kind of hope and wish is that they pick up the pace, because it has been absolutely flipping forever since they announced Colossus and Old Man Logan buffs and made that vote. And honestly, it's kind of disheartening. The hype for those champions has already died. Old Man Logan has been nerfed ever before he got buffed since with the heavy attack. And it's just taken so long. It completely ripped out all my enthusiasm about these buffs. I have forgotten half of the new abilities that the champions will have. And yeah, I just got tired of waiting. I think they dragged it out far too long. And I think they need to pick up the pace. If they can buff the champions faster than they can nerf them, then that's yay, we're in like pluses. But currently it just seems that if there's something they want to get rid of or mess with, it takes, and that benefits the players, it takes a month. If there's something that they are reworking, like buffing the champions, it takes half a year. Obviously it's not exactly like that. I get that there are much more implications when you're completely reworking the character and all that. All I'm saying is that it just feels far too lazy and long and kind of like half-assed effort, if you ask me. But nonetheless, it's a positive change. Definitely welcome. So props to Kabam for actually doing it, with a minus mark for taking far too long to do it. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys agree with me. If you don't, let me know. If you do, let me know as well. That will do for today. And remember to hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And yeah, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!